Hello.
Hiya. How you doing? Hello.
Hey everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? We hope that you're having a great night.
We're good.
We're good. Hannah's checking the
audio and visual.
Yeah.
Visual. Audio and visual.
Okay.
Visual.
She just got off work, so she's kind of like, woo.
It was a stressful day.
But it's the day before vacation.
True.
But I'm Laurie.
I'm Hannah.
And we're Journey with the Gingers.
How you doing?
And we're going to kind of just jump in and talk about some upcoming things that we have. First of all, our suitcases are pretty much packed.
Not mine.
Mine's packed.
Not mine.
Because she had to work today. Where are we going, Hannah?
Oh, God. Oh, no. Hold on.
What are you doing?
I didn't do anything. I forgot my email. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Your email going off?
Los Santos.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Where are we going tomorrow, Hannah?
Oh, well, we are going to Universal. Yes. I don't know which park we're going to tomorrow for 3 hours.
Yeah, we're flying in, and we should get there in time to go do a couple hours in one of the parks.
You know, we looked at the weather forecast
for Saturday.
And it's so sad because the one day they have fireworks is Saturday.
Well, maybe it'll be gone, pass through by the time that happens.
Okay.
But we have a very special guest with us tonight. We are going to talk about. I'm going to ask them some questions pretty soon. But first, we're going to talk about some upcoming things that we have upcoming channels we have coming to our lives.
There we go.
Our lives are every Thursday at 7 p.m., as y'all know. And tonight we're going to have Sarah from Adults in Disney. And Hannah absolutely adores their channel. So we're going to have a great time talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
On March 11th, next Thursday, we have Doug and Nikki.
Woohoo!
March 18th, we have David and Lorelai from Fisher Fun Ventures.
Lorelai.
And on March 25th, we have Shauna and Jonathan from the Six Traveling Shorts.
Yep.
We love them. That's our fellow South Carolinians. And also on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, but this is not a joke, we have the Q's Cruisers.
I'm always terrified of April Fools. You did a horrible prank on me one time. It wasn't that bad, but you told me we were moving to a different state. And I started crying.
I did a great prank when I was a principal of an elementary school. But I'm going to share that on April Fool's Day just to tell everybody what I did.
You're not going to remember that.
Yeah, I remember it. It was the best prank ever.
Oh, God.
And no one would expect that the principal would do that.
Not you.
So if you're not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and notification bell so that you will be notified when we go live.
Woo!
And we're also going to have a lot of good content coming out from Universal once we're finished with that wonderful trip.
I hope we are able to get a fire-breathing dragon on video.
Like Sherry.
I just want a fire-breathing dragon.
If you're in the chat and you know how many views Sherry, I always get it mixed up.
Sherry,
Awesome Sunsets Travel has on her fire-breathing.
It's like 1.5 million.
Dragon on her shorts. Let us know. It's just amazing. First, we're going to start recognizing people in the chat.
Do you want me to do that now, or do you want?
You can go ahead. Hannah's going to just click on your name and she's going to just show on the screen who we have. And while she's doing that, I'm going to recognize our moderators because we love our moderators and how they watch out for our channel and everything.
Did you just say lives?
Our lives?
I like how they watch out for our lives, like our lives.
We do watch out for our live streams, yes. We have Anthony Simone as a moderator, J&N Travels, Rayleigh Creative Travel, which is also
Blaine,
MGM Family Travel Adventures of David and Aaron, Fisher Fun Ventures, No Maps Needed Travel, and Lovey Spat Life. We have some awesome moderators. All right. So we're still.
Oh no, just keep going.
Okay.
I got it.
We're going to go ahead and introduce our guest. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah,
I know you're ready.
I've been ready.
I've started watching their channel since Hannah caught me onto them, and they're just, if you love all things Disney and Universal Studios, you would love their channel.
They're also very, very helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, great advice and great tips.
So let's stop talking.
Yes, we're gonna keep on talking about them, not even bring it on the screen.
Give me the paper. So
let Hannah introduce, because she's been the long-term fan.
I have been a long-term fan for over a year now. I'd like to point that out. We are going to be speaking with the lovely Sara from Adults in Disney. So let's bring on Sara right now.
Hello. Thank you both so much for having me. So I'm really excited to be here.
Yes. And Sara, we know that you're missing someone, but you can go ahead and tell us who your partner is.
I am. So Jeff is not here. So he's the other half of Adults in Disney. He is like the video camera guy. And so I will do my best to answer all the camera equipment questions. But if I say it wrong, please forgive me in advance. But yeah, so he unfortunately was busy tonight. So that is also why I have a white wall with a closet door. So I'm sorry, our background is not very nice, but he stole the office for business he has to do. So yeah, but I'm happy to be here. I'm super excited. I do have to say one thing, because I will forget it as soon as we start talking. The dragon should go off every 15 minutes. Okay. So I don't know if you know that, but yeah, so Jeff will just wait there until it breathes.
I will wait.
Yeah. One day we were there and we realized it wasn't working, and we eventually asked a team member and they're like, it's not going today. And we're like, okay, thanks. But
we're going to get that dragon in.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
It has like so many sensors, apparently. Like if certain things go off, they're like, oh, the wind is too strong. It won't go.
Well, that makes sense because it's fire. That's a great tip. Thank you.
No problem.
Moderators that are in, do we have moderators in the chat, if y'all could post the link to Adults in Disney in the chat, and so that everybody can check out their channel, because we always support one another, but you will not be sorry if you subscribe to their channel. They're amazing.
I'd like to point out that Sherry's Dragon short has 1.8 million.
1.8 million views.
Yeah, one of our fellow travel buddies, like travel YouTubers, she lives in the Florida area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she went to Disney.
I don't know where Sherry lives, actually.
Well, she went to Disney nonetheless, and she did the the Festival of Fantasy parade with the Maleficent's dragon. She just did a short of that years ago, filmed it vertical, and then YouTube Shorts came out, and now she has 1.8 million views on that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Also, if you are a creator, if you could put #creator in the chat, and Hannah will also recognize you, because if you see someone in the chat that you've never seen their name before, please make sure you check out their channel. Okay.
I'm ready for you.
You got it under control over there?
Somewhat.
All right, Sara, so we're going to start asking you some questions. And if anyone in the chat has a question for Sara, all things Disney and Universal Studios Florida, put question in the chat and then put your question. And Hannah will ask some of the questions to Sara. So Sara, first of all, where are y'all from?
So we're from Nashville. So we're in the Nashville area. So we've driven to Disney and Universal. Everyone, we've done it. So it's a long drive, but so we've been doing that recently. Pre-COVID and everything, we flew pretty regularly down, but Disney World is definitely our home Disney park out of the Disney options.
Cool.
I love Disney.
No, you
just keep going.
So when did you all start your channel, and what made you decide to start vlogging?
So we started, I think it was fall 2019. So really not that long ago, we basically had a trip to Hong Kong and Shanghai that was coming up. And we had friends that So I guess both questions answered. So we had some friends that vlogged, and we primarily just did Instagram. And so Jeff would take photos for Instagram, and I would do like the stories. And so we had fun doing that. And our friends, we'd like see them vlogging, and they'd be like, "You guys should do this. Like, you should do it." And I'm like, "Okay, like, why not give it a try?" And so the Hong Kong, Shanghai was like where we were like, okay, let's do this. Jeff loved it because it gave him an excuse to get camera stuff, or at least say he needed more camera stuff. I don't know if that was necessarily true or not, but he pretended it was necessary. And so, so we did a couple vlogs before that just to test it out. And then that trip was like our main like venture into vlogging. So it definitely, it's one thing to use your phone and like record things and talk to your phone. That took a little bit for me to get used to, but when you have like an actual camera, my goodness, it was very different at first, but we really enjoy it. It's fun to be able to share it. Stories on Instagram are obviously gone within 24 hours unless you do a highlight. So it's nice having something longer term, and I like looking back on it. So, I mean, I was like, worst case, if this doesn't work out, like we'll have them to look back on and pick on how bad our camera skills were back then. But yeah, so that's kind of like what got us into it. And so we're like somewhat new still, I guess. But now it feels much more comfortable.
And your Instagram is just beautiful.
Thank you. That's all Jeff, unfortunately. So I wish I could take credit for that. I do. So back in the day when you'd have to stay at the parks till like 2 a.m. to get an emptier Main Street. I don't miss those nights, but yeah, so I'd be there. I'd be along for the ride, but he's the one who takes the photos and edits them. So yeah, he's really good. I love looking at them and we have a few in the house and stuff.
And do you have an Etsy? Is it an Etsy store? It's a store for photos, right?
We do, yeah. So, we don't, yeah. So it's not Adults in Disney. It's called Disney Park Prints. But yeah, we do have a few. That was, again, a couple people had asked, and we're like, we'll just throw it on there, and if anything ever happens, awesome. If not, that's okay too. But yeah, so we do sell a few of the prints. I keep bugging Jeff. He needs to get like one of the new castles on there. I'm like, you have only the old castle. We need the new castle colors. It's been long enough now, so that's my main bug at him.
Yeah, so y'all are not following them on Instagram. Look at Adults in Disney on Instagram because beautiful pictures. We love
Thank
them.
you.
They also have a TikTok.
Yes.
They also have a TikTok.
Is it Adults in Disney on TikTok too?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
It is.
TikTok.
It's pretty much across the board. Yeah. So I'd say like we do Instagram and YouTube, I'd say like the most, and the TikTok's so crazy. It's like one thing, it's similar to like the shorts, I guess, where like one thing can go crazy and then I don't understand it, but it's fun. I watch it way too much.
There's like this one TikTok, and I think it's like the main characters, I would say like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Pluto and stuff coming down in like Christmas gear, and it has like over 1 million views on TikTok.
It's theirs. Yeah.
It's theirs.
Nice.
I was just scrolling through the TikTok and I was like, what is this?
Maybe I should put that on shorts.
Yeah, we haven't done a shorts yet on YouTube, but we really need to. So yeah.
They're fun to it's a lot like TikTok. Like you just don't know the rhyme or reason of why certain things will take off and certain things just don't go anywhere. So it's interesting.
So what I find interesting is that you guys said you were like, oh, we may not have done that well or something at Shanghai and Hong Kong. And I'm like sitting here going, those are amazing like videos.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love those videos so much because the reason why I got on your channel is because I was like, oh, let me look up Hong Kong Disney because no one talks about it. Like, I feel like no one talks about it on YouTube. And then it came across your video and I was like, this is so good. And I put it on the television. We have like a TV with a fire stick. And I was like, look at Hong Kong.
Well, thank you. I mean, we really appreciate that. So yeah, it was a really fun trip. So I think even if Jeff is not happy with all of like, I don't know the camera terms, like the certain aspects of the camera stuff. It was still like such a fun trip. So we really enjoyed sharing it all. So yeah, it was really good. He definitely picked on me that trip too. I ate a lot of food. I didn't know what I was eating, and he He definitely gave me a hard time about that. So that made it a little more fun for us too.
Oh yeah.
That was really some of the fun parts of those videos. I was watching what you were eating.
I want to ask that question since we're talking about that right now. It's right here.
Hannah wants to know. She said that one of her favorite series of y'all's is that when you created the Hong Kong Disneyland and Shanghai Disneyland videos, and she said she saw that you went to a tea party, lunch, brunch, something. She said she didn't know what it was, and she wanted to know about the cuisine that you tried.
Yes. So we love, like, it was like an afternoon tea where you go and they have like the tiers. And so that's one of our favorite things. We do it we'll go like the Grand Floridian and stuff. And so we've now tried to find it at the international parks. And so we had heard that they had it at Hong Kong. And so I'm like, okay, let's go. And the day before I had eaten squid jerky, and that wasn't a great experience. But I'll try anything pretty much. So if there's a food, like, I will try it at least once. And if I don't like it, that's okay. I pretty much am not great with seafood, but I'll still try it. And so we went to the afternoon tea and I needed to use the restroom. And so I ran to the restroom. And of course, when I was in the restroom is when they brought it out and explained what everything was. And so I went into this completely blind. And so Jeff was like, just try them. Just try. We'll go one by one. Just try them. And so I started out with things I could identify. Like, I think I had a veggie tart. But then they got progressively worse. And so I had like a salmon puree type thing, which was very bad. And the worst was, and I knew it was going to be bad just looking at it. So it looked like a jelly of some sort with a white foam, and it was a seafood jelly. And I really, really had a hard time swallowing it. But there's people sitting like right next to us eating the whole thing. And so obviously, like, some people definitely, for them, Jeff didn't even eat it, period. Like, even after I tried it, he's like, nah, I'm going to pass. But yeah, that was the standout of the bunch. So.
I watched that and I laughed so hard. And I was like, Mom, come here, watch this. And it's like, from like when you first look at it, you're like, okay, so it looks like a lemon jelly with like whipped cream or something. There's like these little black dots on top with a little Mickey Mouse that looks like white chocolate. And it's like, no, it is fish jelly with egg white and caviar basically. And you're just like, what is that?
Yeah. That is so accurate.
I remember Hannah saying, I love to watch Sarah try things in the parks because she's honest and she'll tell us what she thinks about it.
Because
my face gives it away. Even if I try to think it's okay, I'm like,
He'll make this face like, I'm trying to think of something nice to say about it. That happened when she tried the squid jerky. It's literally looking like they take like a piece of squid and they put it through what looks like a pasta machine, but it's like frying the turkey and drying it. She had this in Hong Kong too. And Jeff tried it first and he was like, oh, it's not bad. It just tastes grilled. And then Sarah goes, and she's like, no, it's so bad.
He knew it was bad. He was just trying to get me to take a big bite. He's like, I don't like it either. Yeah, that was so mean. So mean. But the food in Shanghai was much better. I was expecting Shanghai to also be of the similar stuff, but apparently corn juice and cheese flavored ice cream are good for me.
Yeah, no. Was it like cream cheese? I did want to ask you that. Was it like cream cheese or like?
No, it's like cheese? Legit cheese, like cheddar-y. Like if you think of like the spray cheese, that kind. It was kind of like that flavor ice cream. Yeah.
It was like this pretty Elsa ice cream looking thing. And she thought it was like mistranslated into cheese ice cream. It wasn't mistranslated.
Jeff did not care for that one either. But I actually liked that one. I was like, I can get another cheese ice cream. This is good.
For those of y'all that are just joining us, we're talking to Sarah from Adults in Disney about cheese ice cream. But Sarah and her husband are great Disney and Universal creators, and they have been to all the Disney parks. And this is just a channel that Hannah just obsesses over. And so those of you that just joining us, that's who we have with us today. And Hannah's going to look in the chat and see if there's any questions.
So you talked about them doing some Universal videos, and Lovey's is just wondering, if they could only go to one of the Universal parks, which one would you recommend them go to?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So I would probably pick Islands of Adventure, primarily because of Hagrid's. So I guess there's two things I should say. So first off, Jeff can get motion sick with too many screen-based rides. So he's fine on like a Flight of Passage type ride, but Star Tours can get him. And so Universal has more of the ones that are like the Star Tours emotion. So that like rules out a fair number of rides, which is why when we go to Universal, it's like, hey, we're going on these ones. So those are usually our go-to. But Hagrid's, I'm not going to do anything like spoilers on it, but it is just such a phenomenal ride. If you like Harry Potter, it's even better. But even if you're not a huge Harry Potter fan, it's still just such a good ride. It's one of the newer ones, so it's one of those you like to run to right in the morning. I'm sure you all will be doing it tomorrow or the day after. So ride it as much as you can. But it is just such a great ride. And so that definitely steps it up. I mean, both Harry Potter lands are really good. So the Diagon Alley theming is awesome. But also in the Islands of Adventure side, you get the castle. So I guess so you have Hagrid's. And then so even though the ride inside the castle, Forbidden Journey, makes Jeff sick, we always at least walk through the queue. And then I just am like, bye, I'm going to ride. And so I leave him and I go on it. But the castle, so again, if you're a Harry Potter fan, that helps. If it's warm, we also really like Dudley Do Right and Jurassic Park. So those are both in that as well. You will get wet. So like the Splash Mountain, you may get wet. You will get wet on Dudley, but it's really fun. So yeah, so for us, or at least for me, I'll speak for Jeff too. He agrees with me. So we would go Islands of Adventure if we had to pick just one.
Right. Yeah. They have more thrill rides, I feel like, at Islands than they do at Universal. I mean, they have the Hulk, and then they have Hagrid's. And in the summer, they're coming out with the Velocicoaster.
Yes, that's true.
I'm so excited for that.
And we've seen on some videos, some YouTube videos, that they've taken down the construction walls, and you can now see it, the roller coaster, and they're actually running it for practice. So,
and they've actually done a live testing with actual like people on the ride already. So with that, and they may be doing some soft openings, in the next couple of months. Maybe they do the one this weekend. Probably not.
If you're walking by, just be like, do you need anyone? We're good. We'll go. We volunteer.
Okay, I have a question, but I think I know the answer to this. It says, any time frame when Epic Universe will be ready to open. For those who don't know, Epic Universe is the fourth park. The current parks right now in Universal Studios are Isles of Adventure, Universal Studios itself, Volcano Bay is the water park, and Epic Universe, they announced that, I think, sometime last year, but unfortunately it was put on hold in July due to, the world. But they announced, I believe it was a couple of days ago, if not yesterday, that they were resuming construction, not to full capacity, so it's going to delay it. So they're probably thinking it's going to be around 2024 to 2025 before it opens. Yeah. So, but they're supposed to have the Fantastic Beast, which is Harry Potter. You don't know nothing about it.
I've watched the first 3 now.
She was like, oh, we're going to go to Universal. And I was like, but you don't know anything about Harry Potter.
So since we found out we're going to Universal, I've watched the first 3.
Then plane ride. You got to download them from the plane. Won't be able to rest.
There you go.
And so far, the 3rd is my favorite.
See, the 2nd's my favorite, but I'm a Slytherin. So
okay.
Secrets. I originally thought, okay, we took her test a couple of years ago, and she says she doesn't take it. I have a better memory than that. She was Gryffindor, but her second was Hufflepuff. But we took it a month, like 3 weeks ago, a month ago. You are actually a Hufflepuff.
I am a Hufflepuff.
And Sarah,
I'm caring and kind.
Sarah, are you Ravenclaw and Jeff?
I am. Yes, you were spot on. Yeah, I swear Jeff is a Slytherin too, or has some in there. But yeah, he came out Gryffindor. I'm like, But
today he didn't tell you the thing about the tea party. What was in that pudding? Or
yes, exactly.
That was a Slytherin move.
Exactly.
That was a Slytherin move. Okay. Woo. Okay. Here's another question. I skipped, so I'll go back and find more questions. My chat skipped, but Hong Kong Disney or Shanghai Disney, which one would you say that you prefer?
So personally, I prefer Shanghai. However, the reason for that is, and I think Jeff would say Hong Kong. So we went through and ranked them, but I can't remember what he put for now. But for me, so Shanghai has a Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's different from all the other Pirates of the Caribbeans. And that is my favorite Disney ride, period. So like, I love it. And even if you, so it's like, even if you see stuff about it, like you'll still do it and just be like, oh my God. So yeah, it is such a good ride. And then they also have the adventure course there, which is basically like, I don't know, rope climbing in a Disney park, which is so random, but it's really fun as well. And it is huge. So Hannah, you're saying like Hong Kong is so tiny and cute, and Shanghai's like the opposite. So it is just huge, everything, ginormous castle. And it's just so different from all the others. In many ways that like Disney Sea is very different from every other Disney park. We can go back to that later, but yeah, so of the two, for me, it's Shanghai. Jeff, I think, might pick Hong Kong because of Mystic Manor, which he absolutely loves. And so, yeah, it's such a like very unique ride, and I love that one as well. But if I had to pick between the kid, it's going with Shanghai. So.
Mystic Manor is the cutest, also terrifying ride, but the cutest ride. It has a little monkey named Albert in it. But the thing is that they couldn't put Haunted Mansion. Well, this is what this tale is, but they couldn't put Haunted Mansion in any parks in China or Hong Kong because the belief is that it is bad luck to see ghosts in those countries. So they did Mystic Manor, and they blew that ride away. It's good. It's so good.
So Sarah, what did you like about Mystic Manor?
So similar to what Hannah was saying, it's just a very unique, good ride. And so I think that they just put so many like details and Imagineering in it. Again, without trying to give away any spoilers, but the ride vehicle and way you move through the ride is very fun. So there's other similar rides now that do the same thing, but the monkey is of course adorable as well. So whenever you have a cute like character mascot that takes you through the story, that's a plus as well. So it's just like that Disney. So for Disney fans, so if I took like a family member that's not huge on Disney, they'd probably say like, oh, it's good. Like they probably wouldn't be, but for people that just like love that like Disney detail and theming and story, that just has all of those pieces. It's just so good. And anyone can ride it. Like it's not one of those where you're gonna get motion sick or like super fast or huge drop type of ride. So I also like that aspect.
It's a trackless ride. I don't think you've ever been on a trackless ride, but it's just like, I don't know the terminology, but there's no track. It's trackless. But I know I've been on one and it's very smooth. I've been on Remy's in Disneyland Paris, which is a cute ride, which they're bringing to Epcot.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
It's not a question, but Jeffrey said, tell Sarah.
I will pass that along.
Jeffrey, we like your name too.
Yeah.
It's just, woo. All right. Okay, so let me go through here. What is your next question? Oh, hold on.
We have a question.
They just want to know, what is Hagrid's?
Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
What is Hagrid's?
So Hagrid's is one of the rides at Islands of Adventure. So it's a Harry Potter ride. So if you're not familiar with Harry Potter, Hagrid is like the gamekeeper of all the magical creatures. And you basically go on an adventure with him. Of course, it's Hagrid, so stuff doesn't always go completely as planned. So there are a few surprises in it, but it's one of the main rides at Islands of Adventure. And I don't know if you want to explain anything else about the ride without spoiling it. So I'll let you. I don't know if you know anything about the ride, so I also don't want to spoil it for you guys if you're going to. Okay. So
right along with you all on your video.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, it's one of those where I was like, sometimes. So before, I should say that, like before we went to like Hong Kong and Shanghai, and back in the day, like for Tokyo and those. Whenever we'd watch like Imagineering story or something and they'd show part of the rides, like I literally close my eyes and cover everything or like vlogs and that kind of stuff. I just wouldn't watch it. And so I do it like there. And Jeff's the opposite. Jeff's like, I'll watch everything. Like I want to know. And so he's more like that. So yeah, so I'm like so I try not to spoil stuff unless people are like, tell me everything. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you everything. But yeah, so it's an amazing ride. It does go fast. It does have surprises. And so I guess, and you do sit in like either a bike or a sidecar. So you have 2 seating options, which is fun.
That's fun.
I'm so excited.
And I know that Jeff is the guru with all the gadgets and the technology and all that stuff, but Hannah was wondering, what do you all use when you're recording the rides?
Yeah, so it depends on especially like the park and the ride type. He will typically use, particularly at Universal, it will be a GoPro. So those will be, if you're going like fast or any of that kind of stuff, he'll typically do the GoPro. Disney, more so, he will use our like main vlogging camera, which is, let me see if I can get this right. It's a Sony A7S3.
We're gonna act like we know what you're saying,
right? I really tried because I saw the question and I was like, I'm gonna try to memorize what this camera is called. So it's a Sony. So anyone out there, Sony versus Canon, I know there's a huge debate, but yeah. So like a lot of times, like the Hagrid's is just a GoPro. And then the other one is the like he brings like a proper like our like big camera with the giant like microphone, and he will bring it on a lot of rides. And so Disney doesn't really care, so he does it there. Yeah.
Does he put like the GoPro on his wrist or does he hold it? Like, how does he do it?
He'll do both ways. So a lot of times he'll like hold it. Universal's tricky because sometimes people are like, you can't do it on this ride. You can do it on this ride. And so that's like a whole different issue at Universal as well. So the team members can vary greatly with some of that stuff. And so, yeah, he doesn't have, he just like does the, like a tripod, I guess is like the stick. He doesn't really use the hand one too much.
Good to know.
Good to,
because we're taking the GoPro,
but it's going to be in its waterproof case, and that's not going to be good because it's going to be like a little maraca.
And we're taking my Canon, and then we're doing a cell phone on a gimbal. For the
nice, yeah,
for shorts and stuff.
Yeah. So
we'll be those people with all the stuff.
Yeah, no.
That's the biggest downside about Universal is that you have to use lockers for most rides. Even like Men in Black, which is like Toy Story Mania, where you go through, they have you put your bag in a locker. And I'm like, really? Like, we're not like, you're not moving that much in that ride. Like, it's okay. So yeah, they're all free, but it's the one we like each have. Like, I have a bag that I keep like my phone and like mini stuff in, and then he has like his bag for the camera. And I'm like, okay, locker time.
I'm not a huge fan of fanny packs, but I've learned, and I don't know how true it is, but I've heard, except for on Rip Ride Rocket and the Hulk, wow, brain did not work for a minute. You go through metal detectors on those two, and you're probably going to go through a metal detector on Velocicoaster, let's just be real. But you can wear a fanny pack on the other ones, and as long as it's 3 prongs, like there's 3 little things, you can wear it on the ride without checking a locker because it's on your person.
So she has got her a fanny pack.
That is a good tip.
I'm not a fanny pack person, but I will be for the next 4 days.
There you go. Functionality.
So Sarah, we have a lot of people that are in our community that are new at YouTube, or right now they're supporters of YouTube, but they're thinking about taking it and making their own channels. So what's a tip or something you can tell them about starting up? Like, what's a tip you could say or any advice you would give them about starting a channel?
So first, I would say go for it. So we definitely were unsure for a while, and I'm so glad that we finally just were like, let's just do it. Like, it's fine. I would say like one thing we weren't aware of is like the awesome community. So you already have like this awesome community here. And so I think definitely like take advantage of that, like get to know some of the people. It's an amazing community. We know like a lot of like Disney community, but like everything, like there's everything. And all the people we've interacted with have just been so nice. So definitely encourage you to reach out to people in that regard. And then lastly, just as best as you can, try to just be comfortable. So for me, like when I first started especially with the camera, or sometimes I'll be standing and Jeff will be like pointing the camera at me, is like how we do a lot of our stuff now. And I originally was like, oh my God, are people looking at me? And just like, if you can just not care, it will make it so much easier. So it does, I know that's easy to say, and I wasn't that way at first. So if you're like, oh my gosh, this is so weird, like try to find a quiet place to start and get used to it. And then as you get more and more used to it, I remember like years ago, Jeff and I would see people in restaurants at Disney and be like, they have a giant microphone and a camera. Like, that's so weird. And like, now we're those people. Yeah. So it's okay. And yeah, and just go for it. So like the best advice I could say is just like, just do it, have fun with it. And if you can, as best as you can, don't care if people are looking at you weird, who cares? Like it's fine.
We kind of say, we'll never see these people again anyway.
Exactly.
I'm definitely the person that's like, I don't want to be that person in the middle of a crowd walking with this thing.
But we are.
We are.
So Disney and Universal Studios both have awesome places to eat. What if you had to think about what was your favorite thing you've ever eaten or drank in one of those parks? What would it be?
Okay, so that's super hard. So I'll go. So one item for Universal, which if it is there, I strongly recommend you guys get it. So of course, butterbeer. So butterbeer and Harry Potter. I, however, don't like the cold butterbeer or the frozen butterbeer. But I like the hot butterbeer a ton. So like if I go, I have to get the hot butterbeer if it's available. So I don't know, they should just keep it year round. Like whatever, it can be 100 degrees, I would drink that stuff. So that is like my go-to for there. For Disney, I have sweet tooth. So I'm like, any treats that I can have. One of my absolute favorites of that is going to be at, so it's now at like Tamboo Lounge. It's originally at Ohana at the Polynesian Resort. So they have a bread pudding. So it's basically like bread pudding, a scoop of vanilla ice cream, and they cover it in caramel. So it is so good. It's really close to ooey gooey toffee pudding for me at Liberty Tree. But basically any dessert, I'm like happy at Disney. And then for drink, it's probably a toss-up for me between, of the ones, we'll go with what's currently available. So there's a thing called Moonshine Sour at the America Pavilion in Epcot, which is delicious. So it's like a blackberry moonshine drink. It tastes like there's no alcohol in it, and that's dangerous, but it's delicious. And then I really like the Hightower drink at Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom. So those are both alcoholic drinks, but yeah, adults in Disney goes to the bars a lot. So yeah.
I'm going to go to, when I went, there's only one time, even when I worked there, I was not of legal age to drink. And that made me so sad, but I was happy I was working there, though. When we went to the follow-up, oh my gosh, no, the one thing that threw me off, did it throw you guys off? Because it threw me off. When you went to Disneyland Paris, did it throw, I don't know if you had like a cocktail, but you can just walk around with your cocktails in front of the castle. Like, Carl and I took a can of beer down the street, and I just felt so weird. You're like looking at the castle and you got your beer.
Yes.
So weird. It was so weird. But the bread pudding, did you show that on one of your videos? Did it have like a little stitch on it?
Yes, yeah. So we recently did like a drink around the monorail, and by the time we got to the Polynesian, that was the fourth stop. So we were like, I was like, I want 2 bread puddings, but no, it was it was that one. So it's really good. Yeah, they now are serving it in the Tamboo Lounge, which is like the bar next to it. It said Ohana's not open.
Yeah, no, I saw the little stitch, and I was like, I will get anything with a stitch on it. Stitch is my favorite character. I'm like, that thing got a stitch on it.
Stitch.
Well, it's Stitch and it tastes delicious, so double win.
Everybody loves Stitch.
We had, was it Boma at Animal Kingdom Lodge before all the crazy world, and then we would always do the brunch at Boma. That's just one of our things we always did, because you can walk around the grounds of Animal Kingdom Lodge and see all the beautiful animals and everything. And they have a bread pudding with a praline caramel sauce.
That sounds amazing.
And it's on the buffet. I said, that's dangerous.
Yes.
The weirdest thing I would say that I ate, what was the eggs? At Boma.
The goat cheese and spinach.
Yeah. I was like, when I first ate there, I was like 15. And I was like, oh, let's go eat at this place at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I went there because I wanted to see the animals. It was like green and white, and then there was eggs.
It was like, good, though.
I was like, what is that? That stuff is so good.
It is so good. It looks nasty, but it's really good.
It's really good.
Do you have any questions while we're going?
Nope, we're good. Everybody's
There's Sherry Awesome Sunsets. We were talking about you.
Yes, we were. Everybody's
a good thing.
But go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. There's so many amazing things that you can do at the Disney parks that you've done in all the Disney parks. If you could tell me what's the most unique thing that you've ever done in a Disney park?
Okay, so I will do one. So I guess there's one that you can do like most Disney trips. I'm gonna do just Disney World. So for Disney World, the thing that we like the most to do that's unique is the Wild Africa Trek. So we love doing Disney tours. So I think that's partly why, like Disney World, in my opinion, if you have to pick one location, Disney World is the best because there's just so much to do. But so we've done a bunch of the tours, and the Wild Africa Trek, you all probably are familiar with it, but it's one where if you're not familiar with it, you are in the safari. So basically the trucks are driving around and you're on like a ropes course above like the alligators and the hippos, and you get to see the hippos up close and they feed them. And then after you go through the ropes course part, then you get on a private vehicle and they drive you around and you have like binoculars and you can see all the animals, and then they take you out on the savannah and there's like a hut location, and then they give you breakfast or lunch depending on the timing of it. And so you sit out there, and like we've been out there and the giraffes will just walk over and they'll just hang out and be like, hey guys. And I'm like, you're just so close to them. It's such a weird experience when you think that you're at Disney. So it's like just one of those, it's like you don't feel like you're at Disney, you feel like you're somewhere completely else. And the guides are just amazing and give tons of info. So if you're looking at tours like the Wild Africa Track in Animal Kingdom, 100% worth it.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I worked there.
So they haven't brought back a lot of the tours yet, but I've heard rumors that they're going to do it. And so that's one that like hands down is our favorite. We've done a bunch of others, but I guess the most unique one that I've ever done is I had a big birthday. And so Jeff was like, I'm surprising you for dinner. And so this was a little while ago. And I'm like, okay. And his parents were with us and his sister and a few people. So we had a group of us, and I for sure thought we were going to Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. So I was like, we're going to Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. Like, this is going to be it. And so we were in Epcot and it was getting kind of late. And I'm like, what is he planning? Like, what is going on? We need to be getting to Fort Wilderness. Like, we're going to be late. And he had rented out the patio at Rose and Crown. And so we got a private area to have dinner. It unfortunately was raining, so they took us into like the convention center. And so we ate there. But then luckily the rain stopped and we got to go out on the patio and have glasses of wine and watch illuminations in like a private little area. And so it was just one of those things that I'm like, is this real life? Like, what is happening right now? So that was just like absolutely crazy. So yeah, that was like, that never would I ever have thought that would happen. So that was one where I was just super special.
Well,
he did. He's done that years later. He's like, I don't need to do anything for anything.
Illuminations is, I would say, definitely my favorite like nighttime show.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so sad it's gone.
Yeah. It's kind of been our family tradition is that we always went to Paris
or Italy
and got it like a dessert and a coffee or drink, whatever you wanted. And we would always get in a special spot and watch it. That was like our thing we did every time we went. So
I miss that show.
It is so good.
Yes.
You guys went to, I'm going to say it wrong. Is it Club 33? Is that what it is? What is it called?
In Shanghai? Yeah, Club 33.
Yeah, how is that? You
what is Club 33?
It's a very you explained it.
So it's like it's a restaurant in Shanghai Disney, and it's, if you like think of Magic Kingdom, it'd be above like Casey's Corner in Shanghai. So like it's like above there. And there's in the Shanghai. And so what it is it's like a members only club, and so you need to have somebody who like buys a membership into it. And either them or they can make a reservation for you if you know someone, and you can go and eat there. So it's basically just a restaurant that you need to like have a connection with somebody to let you in. And so we were super fortunate and had somebody that could get us in. And so we had heard from people, so there's a dress code and all that kind of stuff. So we're like, yes, we'll pack clothes for that. And It's just like a meal, prefix meal. So you go up, it was just a really, really nice meal. But the best part is they do have a balcony. Like, again, if you like think of Casey's, like there's a balcony in front of theirs, and then you can watch the fireworks from Shanghai, like above everyone. And so that was the best. So dinner was good. But the best part was definitely being able to go on the balcony after. And there, like, not many people go to it. So I think it was us and one other family in the entire place, which is like crazy. And so, yeah, we were super, super thankful for that.
That was very nice.
Yeah, no, I don't know if they have them in every like main park, like Magic Kingdom-esque park, but I know there's one in Disneyland in California. But it's just like a place that not many people get to see, but it's in a very like prime location, if that makes sense, so you can see things.
Jeffrey wants to know.
He goes by Jeff. Yeah, he goes by Jeff.
If he goes by Jeffrey or Jeff, he goes by Jeff.
So I know that I have a question in here. So they're asking if you've ever done a review on Pop Century. I know you've done a lot of reviews on like DVC related resorts. But like, have you ever done one on Pop Century? I don't think you have yet.
We have not. So like our fun fact that not many people know, I guess, so one of them is that we've actually stayed at every Disney resort. So super lucky. We actually just ticked off. So Riviera was one of the last ones, and Fort Wilderness was one of the last ones. So we were lucky that we were able to get those done just recently. And so we have stayed at Pop Century. It has been a little while since we've done that one, but we're trying to work our way through and do a resort review of every one. So at some point we will get there, but I will say, like, Pop Century and Art of Animation, the fact that you have the Skyliner now there is like a huge perk. So being like one of the value resorts and then also having like being able to walk to both of them is nice, and then having the Skyliner as well makes it like extra awesome. So
yeah, you just found out about the Skyliner the other day. You didn't even know it was there.
No, I didn't.
We were watching,
and I didn't realize it went to Pop Century.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And then we have another one. It says non-Disney or Universal question. Blaine, he loves Nashville. What's your favorite place to eat in downtown Nashville?
Oh, I have to think. So there's a pizza place off of the main area, and now I'm going to blank completely on the name of it. So to be fair, we are a little bit outside of Nashville, so we don't go to downtown Nashville as much as we should. So we don't take advantage of it as much as we should. And I'm going to blank on the pizza place completely. I apologize. Shoot me a message and I can look it up for you. I'm sorry. I'm going to need to like Google it after. It's going to bother me so much. But there are tons and tons and tons of good, like Nashville, like tons of good food places, but even if the food's only mediocre, so many locations have live music that it makes the experience awesome. I'm not a huge country person, which is horrible to say being in Nashville, but they have so much different types of music as well. So yeah, I'm sorry that I'm blanking on like the go-to pizza place that we go to. Yep.
I'm not a huge country person.
I am. I love country.
No. But no, we went to it's probably not the one she's talking about, because the one we're talking about looks like the mafia lives there.
It was an old Italy.
Yeah. It was like you went in and then there was like a wall, and behind the wall was this fancy like dining room area, and Mom was like, this is what is it, The Sopranos or The Godfather?
Yeah, it felt like Sopranos.
Like, okay.
It was delicious.
It was great food.
Yeah, you order at the counter and they took you back to this room, like you go through this like maze of brick walls, and I was like, are we gonna die?
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that place.
And people were having meetings that they're like, I was like, I feel like we're the Sopranos.
So a mafia meeting.
Like, the food's good. I like it. We're good. We're good.
Was it grocery? Something grocery? Like,
it's
been a while since we went.
All I know is I went to a restaurant and I asked if they had a veggie burger, and the man looked at me. He says, "Do I look like I'm a vegetarian?" And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I just wanted a veggie burger. That's all." I'm not vegetarian. Funny. I'm just like vegetarian food and vegan food.
I'm the same. We do that a lot. Yeah.
If I have the option for it, I'm going to go for it. But he was like, "Do I look like I was like, "No, sir." Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
So, of course, you've all planned a lot of trips to Disney. And so what is your number one piece of advice when it comes to planning a trip? Like, where do you start?
So I mean, I know stuff is a little different now with like park reservations and all of that craziness. I am very, I guess I'm a big time planner, so I go straight to the Excel spreadsheet. And so I like having it organized where I can like move stuff around. And so I definitely am like a come up with a game plan type person. I would say picking hotel obviously is like a big factor. If you can have one that you can walk to the parks and that kind of stuff. And then in normal times, figuring out if we want to do a tour or dining, those are going to be like the big things. Then we try to work around like dining. And so, yeah, so I think it's going to definitely depend on the type of vacation you're having. So are you there for like 5+ days? We have friends from the UK who come over and they're like, we're here for 2 weeks. I'm like, good Lord. And so they have it very different than us, where we'll usually go down for a weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we're like, we won't sleep, we won't eat, we will get, well, unless it's a dining reservation, and we will get as much as we can in. So yeah, so usually I'd say like dining was first, and then when you would make fast passes, like that obviously was super important as well, which I guess is kind of like making a park pass. You have to plan like which park you're gonna be at least for the morning. And then when you get there though, I will say like not having set like fast pass stuff does make it a little more spontaneous in the parks of like running between stuff. So
we have the unlimited express pass for Universal.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that like we were like planning, and we're like, okay, we're just gonna stay at, oh my gosh, what is it, Royal Pacific?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, Adults in Disney came out with a new video, and I was like, let me check their previous videos, and I was like, they've stayed there. And so she saw the room tour. She was like, okay, so they have a fridge. Okay, they have a fridge. Okay. It was just funny, but
yeah.
Like, did you say the express pass made a difference or no?
100%. So if you're there, especially on a weekend, the weekends have been like definitely busier than weekdays. And so I think having it on the weekend, especially, you're just gonna, it's like when you had a fast pass, you're like, bye everyone. Like, we're just gonna walk ahead of you. And so, yeah, that is huge, especially on weekends. So like and even on like a Friday, that will probably be like slightly busier as well. So I think if you do have that, it will be awesome.
Yeah, we have, my husband's retired military. So there's a program for the military through Universal that they give you like 30% off your room, and plus they give you a season pass.
It's called a Freedom Pass.
Pass, and it's really for the price of 2 days. You get a pass for January through December
of 2021.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate that they do that for the military. So we're taking advantage of that.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, at least one more time this year.
Yeah, we'll
if not twice.
We'll go back because we have those passes.
Yeah.
But we did realize that if we wanted the express pass, for those of y'all that don't know what that is, you pretty much go to the front of the line, kind of like a fast pass.
Except for Hagrid's motorbike.
Except for Hagrid's,
and like 2 kiddie rides.
So we realized that the cost of getting, because we are going to be there for the weekend, that pass and staying at a cheaper hotel was really more than staying at the other hotel that gives you the free unlimited pass. So.
Yeah, it was like if we stayed at another resort and had to pay for express pass, it was like $110 per person per day, and we were like, oh goodness, wow.
Yeah,
so we're excited. I figured that'd be a great way for me to do it first time.
Oh, definitely. And Royal Pacific's amazing, so you can take the boat or you can walk. Like that's an awesome hotel. Like that's the best one.
So
did you? What? You didn't? Oh, you didn't ask a question.
What? You ask it.
Okay, so we addressed this. Did we ask this question? I don't think we did. No, we didn't. Okay, so sorry, my brain just did. All right, so you've been to all of the Disney parks. For those who don't know, there's Disney World. There's 4 parks in Disney World. There's Disneyland. There's 2 parks in Disney Anaheim, Disneyland Tokyo and Tokyo Disney Sea. Disneyland Paris, and then they have like the Hollywood Studios kind of thing. I forgot what it's called there. Shanghai Disney and Hong Kong Disney. You've been to all of those parks. Which one would you say is your favorite?
So if you're going like single park, it's hands down Tokyo Disney Sea. So that's it for both myself and Jeff, like not even close. That being said, I will say that it is for like the big Disney nerds. So it's one of those parks is not like any other. Hey,
Another Sarah.
Everybody, I like to know it. Yay. But yeah, that one is just, it's such a unique park. And when you go into it, so we've been lucky, we've been to Tokyo Disney twice, and it's just one of those that every time I go in it, I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I get that like freak out moment, I guess, every time. And when you go into it, you're in like a harbor area. So you walk in and they have like this giant volcano, and there's a harbor area. And so I don't research stuff because I like to be surprised, whereas Jeff's like watching and planning and doing everything. And so I like walked in and like we did that and we did a little bit of stuff to the side and I thought that was it. But then there's like bonus lands like all through behind it and stuff. So it's way bigger than I originally thought. But they just have amazing details. And in Tokyo, everything. So if you ever look at stuff in Disney World, you're like, I wish that was refurbished, or I wish that was like a little, theirs is just pristine. Like everything is pristine. So perfect. The cast members, I mean, our cast members are fabulous here too. They're also fabulous. If you have any like hesitations about language or going abroad or anything like that, non-existent in Tokyo. Like they are just the nicest people. And the only thing I'd say, if you have like a dietary restriction, my sister went with us and she can't do dairy. And that is the only thing that maybe will be a little bit challenging for you. She just basically ate rice. Rice and chicken nuggets. But yeah, it's just such a great place. And the theming is just unreal. Like it's so good.
I don't think I've ever shown you a video of Disney Sea.
Mm-mm.
It is like what she's saying is no lie. Like it is just, like I think if I remember correctly, like part of Tokyo's like there's a big corporation in Tokyo that partnered with Disney to build Disney Sea. So it was like there is no budget when building this park, and you can tell there was no budget. And did you do Journey to the Center of the Earth? I think that's.
Yes, it was one of those where everyone's like, you have to do it. I'm like, okay, like we're obviously going to do it. And so it was one of those where I rode it the first time and like, it's an oldish ride. And so I'm going through it and it's like Journey to the Center of the Earth. So like Jules Verne, like you're going towards the center of the earth. And so you're going and it's like a little bit older stuff, but it's good. And it's like fine. And so you're like, this is a good ride. And then it hits a point and you're like, this is amazing. And so I got off, we got off and we're like, what just happened? Let's go again. Like it was one of those where I think the more and more you ride it, the better it gets as well, which I think is fun for a ride. So yeah, that's a really good one. Jeff's favorite. So I'll speak because I think he'd be mad if I was talking about Tokyo Disney and didn't bring up Sinbad's Voyage Journey, or Sinbad's Journey. And so, yes, Shandu. So another like cute little character. So if you don't know Shandu, he's a little tiger and he's in this ride. So it's like, I have a hard time comparing it to Small World because like Small World, but it's way better. So, and it has like one of the catchiest songs and that is one of Jeff's favorite rides. So it's one of those, again, you have to be like a Disney fan. We took my sister on it and she likes Disney, but she's not quite to our level. And so she's like, this is good. And then we're like, we'll do it again, Laura. You'll like it better. And so, yeah, so that's another one he just absolutely loves.
It's legit like this cutest little tiger I've ever seen. And it's so precious. Go ahead.
Well, Sarah, we got to wrap up.
Oh, no, you're fine.
This has been so fun. It's gone so fast. But everybody, if y'all haven't subscribed to their channel yet, please do so because it's amazing. As you can tell, they've been to all the Disney parks and Universal in Florida. And so they're a great resource. Your videos teach us things, which I love. We get to learn a lot about different things there. So please subscribe to their channel. And Sarah, you are just a dream to have on our channel. We appreciate you so much.
Before we end, are you doing stories from your trip this weekend?
Yes. Yeah. So we'll be sharing stories, hopefully doing a little vlogging. I wish we were popping over to Universal. I'd come say, hey, if we have a change of plans, I will let you know.
Okay.
But yes, we'll be there. We'll be sharing stories on Instagram this weekend. And I also just want to say thank you both so much. This was a ton of fun. I'm sorry again that Jeff couldn't be here, but in some ways I'm kind of glad because I got to take all your time. So yeah, no, but thank you both so much. This was amazing and love your channel. And thank you all so very much.
Thank you. And thank you all the people in the chat for sticking around with us and asking great questions. And we just appreciate y'all as always.
But you need to go subscribe to their channel.
Yeah.
And you need to follow them on Instagram because they are going to Orlando. They're not going to be in our park with us.
We'll be in Orlando too.
But they're going to be sharing stories with their wonderful trip to Disney, and you need to be on the lookout for their wonderful, wonderful videos.
And also follow them on Instagram because that's where the stories will be.
Yes. So, but Sarah, I'm so sad that our time is over, but I'm so happy that you took the time today and just joined us. But do you have anything else to say?
Yes, if y'all are not subscribed to our channel, also, please make sure you're subscribed.
Whoops.
And please make sure you hit that thumbs up on this video. We appreciate that. And Hannah always likes to close us out, so.
We hope that you all stay safe and stay healthy. And don't forget to journey on. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.